Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have some pretty crazy news and some kind of big warnings going on over here that seems to become a bigger problem as time goes on when it comes to PlayStation and PlayStation Store. Now, as you guys probably know, we've covered a little bit of bits and pieces of news over here when it comes to PlayStation Store, where there's been a lot of like bloatware, basically people utilizing AI, very easy copy and paste assets, and they're just selling anything they possibly can. We've seen some things such as like The Last of Us, basically having characters like Joel has a main character on a homepage to try to somewhat bait people into buying the game. Think like you see like a Horizon character, Last of Us character, God of War character, but it's clearly AI and not really the same actual copyrighted character one-to-one. And now we've also been seeing an even bigger issue where repeatedly on different companies, they're now stealing the games, like the literal games themselves that other people have made to resell on the PlayStation platform. Like you guys heard me correctly, basically like these scam and shell companies, whether they're from like some weird European country or in the middle of like North Korea, God only knows, they have a chance over here to steal the assets and just resell the game out there and upload the files and make money off of other people's hard works on the PlayStation Store. Now, thankfully, some of the instances that have been popping on up do seem to be like resolved. It does seem like PlayStation, Nintendo, and these other big companies are at least being proactive in dealing with it, but it leads to a few different big issues. Number one, this is now not a one-time big deal, and it seems like this is actually happening on a very common basis for all these kind of bloatware, scammed out companies that are now stealing these games and reselling them. But as well, it's just like a warning. Like, I don't want you guys out there to go buy a game. I'm sure hopefully a lot of you guys wouldn't, but you never know. Maybe you have kids, a nephew, or maybe one of your friends is kind of new over here and they see some pretty popular games, or maybe even have a chance to say like Monster Hunter. What if there is like Monsters Hunters or something like that up on the store itself, and then for whatever reason the title upcoming and someone being new to the PlayStation ecosystem goes and buys the game when it's clearly a fake. So let's go talk about this. Subscribe if you guys are new, definitely please leave a like on this one and your thoughts down below, more so because it kind of fills up the algorithm a little bit and lets more people at least see it, more of a warning, and maybe bring more attention to this on the PlayStation and that this is not okay. Also, subscribe if you guys are new. We have the Twitters and Twitches down below, and let's go dive on into it. So as I mentioned, like we've been seeing news in this, we've covered this before, where basically PlayStation's trying to like remove really mediocre games and all these store shovelware things. They want to have regulations. They don't want these like really bad games, these AI games, whatever it might be. And while they are putting an effort and they have tried to do stuff, like I can't say they haven't, it still has been an ongoing issue. Because right now we've been seeing this up on over here on like Twitter, and on PlayStation Summer and everything else out here. And we've seen other people kind of cover this too as well. Apparently there's been like 2 or so videos out here to other various things. And this is, well, this is like from like a few days ago. They just got the update with it. But basically people have been stealing games over here. People have completely stolen the game. They made a game called the Backrooms 1998. I think it's over here on Steam. It's also in the PlayStation Store itself, but this is the main game out here. It's like a fun little horror game, and shout out to them because they seem to be handling the situation pretty well. But basically it's like, you know, a fun, comfy backrooms thing. It's kind of a meme, like you get lost in random buildings or malls, whatever. Like I've seen it on TikTok, I've seen it floating around. So basically it's meant to be like a horror game out there. It has good reviews and like apparently it's a, you know, decent game. Like, well, like maybe not my cup of tea or maybe yours watching, but like it's a game. Like they made the game. This is their actual property and they want to make some money on it. Like clearly spend time on it. It seems decent. It's been well received. People are like, yeah, this is probably worth buying. It's a proper business for this. And that's what kind of happened over here too, because this has, well, they have to keep on uploading these games and picking it over here. Like they had this is the official game on the PlayStation itself. They had a chance to have this other company just call this same game they made a different name and try to resell it on the store itself. So this is the update. We saw it like 10 hours ago, but I just want to also bring attention to this, that sometimes these games might be complete scams. I'd want you guys to be careful when it comes like the new and trending list over on the PlayStation Store. It's not good. So anyway, the whole moral of the story is that PlayStation is kind of allowing this. They are removing it. So maybe depending on how I word it over here, if it doesn't seem clickbaity or not. But basically for this one, they made a post over here as I showed you guys on top of this. And these people stole these games. They call that Backrooms Horror Escape instead of the Backrooms 1998. And they're just like, hey, this game is rough. Saying they stole the whole game that is with the music, sounds, voice lines, and everything else. And they only changed the monster in the picture on the frame itself. And basically, this company was called Cool Devs SRL. They stole the whole game, ripped it, pasted some AI cover over here, and they just basically made a bad version of the game to go and just sell it onto the console market because there was no one selling it at the time on the PlayStation Store. And now you guys can see what's going to lead into some big issues because this apparently has been happening to other games as well. Or at this point, they will say maybe have a cool game on Steam, which if you guys don't know, I'm sure you guys do, is like the PC marketplace. But due to that being an actual PC game and how PC games work, and you can mod PC games too, you are getting the full entire source code for most games. Now, a lot of other games out there are usually they have some sort of protections and blah, 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 or like anti-cheats. So it's like really hard to completely copy paste like Monster Hunter and resell it. They have copyright laws, you know, whatever it might be. But if you're an indie game company and you have a smaller game that's maybe not on the complete radar from PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo, where like, you know, you have 50,000 Twitter followers, or like this store is trending, or YouTubers are playing it, maybe you have a nice little comfy niche game. How will PlayStation know if this is a legitimate game or not? And that's what basically happened on over here. And then they had some image comparisons over here on top of this for the imager stuff, and they basically just made the game completely copy pasted over here. And like, as you guys can see, like this is a very, very, very similar style of game. Like it really is just the same game. Like it really just truly is. And that's what sucks. Because, well, we don't want to have hardworking indie developers have their stuff stolen. We'd want them to legitimately have their games on the PlayStation Network so we can play them if they're good games. And as well, no one really wants to deal with just stolen stuff. Like it's a soulless game. It's not a vibe. And you guys can kind of see like it is pretty much just the copy paste thing too as well, to the point where people were supporting us up on, you know, Twitter and on Twitch and everything out there. And that's a big deal. They're also, you know, trying to get lawyers involved and trying to get us all pop of this one too. They're trying to get the game all taken down from PlayStation, which actually did. We can't go and say that PlayStation did not deal with it, although we want to see them have more preventative measures for this in the future, so we don't see more indie developers losing games. Like I want more indie devs on PlayStation. I want more indie games on PlayStation. And if this is going to be the main console in the future, which it kind of seems like it is based on Xbox's trajectory, we want everything to be good. We want these regulations to be already in place now, so in the next PlayStation 6, if it's going to sell 100 million and we're having Xbox become this big publisher PC company, like we got to make sure that, well, more people move over to PlayStation and they stay happy on the platform itself. And the people who are going to bring a lot of these fun games, think like Among Us, think Lethal Company, think this Repo game that's going to be blown up throughout the next few weeks. And if you haven't heard about it, it seems kind of fun. But like, these are all games we want on PlayStation, and they're all indie games. And indie game developers do kind of get like, you know, not the best attention and love and everything else compared to like a Monster Hunter or like a Resident Evil or all these other big games. Like it is a big struggle. So it sucks because this has apparently now been floating around even more. Like there's other places out here saying this, and they're even giving out these warnings. They're like, double check the games you buy. Because number one, it does screw over the devs because, well, let's say you wanted to buy this game itself. It's a cool indie game. You even see this video or post, and then you see the wrong game because like you got it mixed up. Like it's just not a fun situation for them to be into as well. So it's like, yeah, you just have to double check these games. It's a big warning. We don't, and also especially if you're like a younger kid out there, like it might even be more bigger issues. Like, I don't know, maybe like you see, like we've seen some instances where it's like, I don't know, like Rockcraft or something, you know, like Roblox, you know, like just really weird games where if you're maybe not super paying attention, you're younger, you're not used to scams, you type in ROB for Roblox, is the first thing that comes on up. And even though it's like maybe if you look at it for more than 2 minutes, maybe you're just dumb, maybe you're just, I don't know, second guessing, maybe it's for parents who aren't used to buying consoles and games, whatever it might be. Like, it just is annoying. Like, PlayStation should deal with it. And they have, at least for this, but for the future, they have to do this more. We've kind of gone through the comments too as well, and apparently other people have also did like different types of things too as well. It just, like, it sucks. Like, hey, once you go get off one game, there's gonna be 3 more different companies out there. They have multiple accounts, like these random scam, like shovelware, bloaty, schemy PlayStation game accounts, and it sucks because, well, these are all people exploiting the platform and trying to make money off of hardworking individuals too as well. And it sucks. Like, people are getting progress, people are hearing about it, people are happy about it too as well, but it just does suck. You know, like, look at this stuff. Like, people over here are saying, like, there's other issues too as well. They've been putting stuff up for purchase for a while, so it's good to see some action being taken too. It's all AI trash thumbnails and then a really bad looking game, and just everyone's thinking it's just stupid. But it's true. Like, this is all just bloatware and just spam stuff too as well on top of this. So it stinks, man. It just goes and stinks. And they're also even calling out Nintendo and other platforms, so it's not a PlayStation only specific thing, but with the ever increasingness of AI on these platforms and using that for either game coding, thumbnails, or even marketing stuff, we do have to be careful on what games will be sold, and I do wish PlayStation would take it a little bit more seriously and will protect all the game companies out there that are part of this. So give me your thoughts and comments on this drama. Make sure you guys are subscribed, and of course leave a like and your thoughts on all this down below. Just make sure you guys are also careful on what you guys buy in these stores, and make sure you guys don't get scammed too as well. We also have the Twitters and Twitches down below. I appreciate y'all so much for watching here in the first place.